Oh yeah. Right. I've got a possession order.
Right.
I've got EX96 signed,
Right.
which you keep insisting that I do.
Mm-hmm.
From both companies?
From both companies, that's that one.
Well, can we see them, please?
Yeah, I just showed them to you.
No, you just flashed them.
There you go. Signed.
Yes.
Yeah. I've actually got two in each for each one. And that's that one. Signed.
By who?
I don't know. It's a representative of the company.
Okay.
Right.
Is your
It's
warrant
listed.
signed?
My warrant doesn't need to be
Is
signed
your
till I
warrant-
take position. No,
Your warrant-
you
No,
see,
well, we're not
see
giving
this
up
bit here.
possession.
This is where I sign.
Sorry, nobody is taking liability for these warrants.
Yep.
They are not legal. They have to be signed
They are
in
legal.
Reading.
No, they don't.
In Reading,
They have to
they
be.
have to
they
be
have to
signed
be sealed by the court.
No, they do
no,
not.
don't- honestly,
Who's
seriously.
who made
Which
this
they are.
order? Who made this order, please?
Now,
Who made this order?
I'm going to
Who made
inform
this
you.
order?
I'm going to inform
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
My name's PC Clark, down from Staines Police
Hello.
Station. These are my two
We
colleagues.
have phoned the
We're
police.
here
Yeah.
to basically not enforce this, but we're here to support the bailiffs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
We've checked the paperwork between us, and we're happy that it's legitimate.
yeah, but
Okay.
we
It's
would.
not.
But
But,
it's not.
what I must warn you, okay, that if when this happens,
Mhm.
if these guys are obstructed,
Yep.
or if any criminal offences take place,
Yeah.
okay, people will be arrested.
Why will
Okay.
people? Why
Well,
will you be
if-
arresting us for peacefully resisting?
Well, if
You
you
have to give up your home voluntarily.
if you read
I
this,
have laws to state that you
You
have to give up
voluntarily.
your
We're not-
home.
this is what-
But he has no right to take our home. He cannot use force of any form.
he's allowed to use reasonable.
No,
He's
he's
not
We've
allowed
checked.
to
We've
use
checked. We
force
can't.
of any
And
form.
we phoned the.
And,
We have
and
actually
reasonable
phoned the
force
police.
is what? We've refused him entry. You have to give up your home voluntarily. Fish out Lightwood's law. You have to give up your home voluntarily.
We're not
You
doing
cannot take possession if we refuse.
And
We are
refusing.
in litigation.
We're in litigation, and nobody's
Martin,
taking in that serious.
we are in litigation with the mortgage company. We have not refused to pay our mortgage.
No, not once.
We have asked them to provide us with
some
documents. We've not refused to pay anything.
No.
We've asked them to produce documents. They are refusing to produce documents because they have no proof of our mortgage. Either one. They have no proof,
This
which
has
is
been-
why they are not.
Since
I
June,
gave you
we've
the opportunity to come into
No,
court and
listen.
argue this.
No,
I
we
come and
have done
I
that.
dropped the
We went
notice off last
Yes, you
week,
did.
so I gave you 8 days.
You-
I also
No.
come and saw
gave
you
us
in
7
person.
days.
In person on Wednesday,
and we spoke to you,
and I spoke to
explained
you, and I
exactly
explained
the
to
same.
you that you should come into court if you want to get.
And
You
I
come into
explained to
court
you that
on
I'd
this
gone
one.
into court,
So
and we
the
got
last time
hijacked
you
by
came,
2
this was out
barristers
of
when we
date,
weren't
but
told
you've
about
now
it.
got it up to date.
It wasn't out today.
It was 2006 the last time. Anyway,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You come into court and got this
this
one
needs to be
suspended.
signed. Nobody has taken any liability for this warrant. Nobody.
Has to be
Well,
signed.
And it has
I
to
did
be signed.
explain
Any
to you
warrant-
there is a penal
any
notice
warrant-
attached to this. If
Yeah,
you
but the
obstruct
penal
me in the
notice-
course of
no.
my
I have
duty,
power of
if
attorney.
you
I
if
have
you
power
if
of
you
attorney.
obstruct
You can
me in
obstruct-
the course
you can
of
arrest
my
Martin.
If you've got a valid
duties,
warrant, if you haven't got a valid
I've got
warrant,
a
then
valid
it doesn't
warrant.
You
cover it.
haven't
I've
got
got a
a
valid
warrant.
one.
It's not signed.
I'm the
You're
person
right.
who signs it, and
you're
I
not
don't
the
sign it
person.
till I take possession
The
of
judge
the
has
property.
to
Well, we're
sign
not
it.
It does not
The
have to
judge-
sign, and no
the
judges
judge-
sign
The
The
anything.
judge has
Right?
to sign the
Now,
warrant.
I'm going to go and enter to the property now. If you
You're
resist,
not.
We are,
These gentlemen-
we are
Please
peacefully
can you
We're here.
check this that it's
resisting
not
you.
signed?
We
yeah,
are peaceful. We
Well,
are not giving
I'll-
up our home.
I want to enter the property now.
And we are
and
refusing
you're stopping
entry.
it.
We are
No,
refusing
you're not allowed
you-
to force.
You
You're
can't
not
use
allowed to
force.
force the gate.
And we are
Isn't it?
refusing.
Seriously, we've been on to the police.
We are refusing.
We've been on to the
you
police.
entry.
I know, but we've been on to Surrey. Is it Surrey Police? We got an
We are
email back from them.
We are refusing you
Who
entry.
have you spoken to?
We spoke to.
I emailed the chief constable.
Right.
And we told them exactly what's been
What was the
going on.
result?
The reply was that they were aware of, thanked us and were aware of the situation and would allow you to know of the situation, that we would be peacefully resisting.
We told them that.
Why we are peacefully
Yeah,
resisting.
because we're not getting heard with the.
We are not doing anything illegal. None of us are doing anything illegal. The warrant has to be signed. Nobody has taken any liability for that warrant. The only person that can order that warrant is a judge, and she has to sign it, or he has to sign it. It's not signed. It has to be signed in wet ink, in red pen, with the name, printed on it.
I appreciate what you're saying.
appreciate what you're saying, but at the same time, we've looked at that one, okay, and everything holds up. And like my colleague said, the reason why we're here.
Who ordered that? Anybody could stamp that. Anybody could stamp that warrant. I will not accept that warrant. Anybody can stamp that warrant. Anybody. I want, and the law
Just to confirm with you, okay, so the reason you're not going to leave is because that isn't signed.
That is, no, and we are not giving up our home. We have to give up our home.
We have to give it up voluntary.
It doesn't have to be signed, but yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
but yeah, just sort it out.
You have to give up your home.
What, you want to speak
Yeah, I'll
to
speak to
our
them.
court?
I'll give them a quick call.
Well, I'll get them.
You have to give up your home voluntarily. We don't give up our
Right,
home
well,
voluntarily.
he's gonna call the court because it's civil, and obviously I'm here for criminal law, not civil law.
We're not
we're not
refusing.
criminals.
We've not refused to pay anything. We've
but-
asked questions.
Well, what's happening is we've asked our mortgage company to prove certain documents, and
Right.
they're not giving them, and the courts seem to be aiding and abetting. They're covering it up.
Right, okay.
What's really going
But
on?
at the same time, if my colleague does speak to the court and find out that warrant is right and everything's okay with it, then obviously they will be coming in and they will be taking the home. Okay. And at the same time, I appreciate what you're saying, and obviously
still
there
have
is
to give up
ongoing
voluntary.
talks you're having with the mortgage company.
Yeah, and they're just
We're
ignoring us.
in litigation. Whilst
Okay,
you're in-
I appreciate you saying
Yeah,
this,
I-
but
But
can
again,
I
while you're in
can I just get
litigation-
this, 'cause I
yeah,
have
of course
to
you can,
get
yeah.
this.
406 Carvery.
We are in litigation. Whilst you're in litigation
Yeah.
with anybody,
yeah.
they cannot take any court actions. We are in litigation.
and we've been since
We have
June.
asked them for documents. We've been asking
Since June.
Well, before June
Before
actually.
June, yeah.
For this documentation.
Okay.
They should not be even doing this. They've got no rights to be doing this.
My
Okay.
partner's disabled. I'm a carer.
Yeah.
You know, and this is
Again,
disgusting what
I
they're
completely
doing.
appreciate what you're saying.
And as
And my
for-
colleague seems to be on the.
Provide proof. They have not provided proof that they actually own.
So again, what you're saying is it's all civil law, of which I've got nothing to do with.
Exactly.
Okay.
All you can do is
I'm
keep
here
the
for a
peace.
breach of the peace.
That's
Exactly.
right.
So like I said,
There
my
is no
colleague.
breach of
My,
the peace.
I know. I'm not saying there is.
We're
I'm just talking to you at the minute.
peacefully
I'm just talking to you at the minute. My colleague's on the phone to the court at the minute, and obviously an update from there, and then hopefully we can get some clarification. Okay.
It does have to be signed, regardless
We're
of
not-
what
we're
anyone
not-
says.
We're not being aggressive in any way.
You're not striking me as being aggressive. Don't worry.
That stamp. Okay.
It's not seriously.
Spoke
It
to my
has to,
inspector,
yeah.
spoke to the bailiff, we're satisfied, okay. I must warn you now, we're going to start getting other units down here and people are going to start getting arrested, so this is pretty
Why are
much
people being arrested for peacefully
for
resisting?
peacefully
Well,
resisting.
for contempt of court.
There is,
There is
And
no
to prevent a breach
there's
of the
only a
peace.
penal warrant for
Yeah.
Martin. You can.
So they're in black
He's
and
the
white.
only one you can arrest. You cannot arrest anybody
Yeah,
else.
we can arrest people,
For
okay,
what?
and also for breach of the
You
peace.
cannot.
What
The
for?
penal
Well,
notice.
okay, I'll
You
just
just
explain
stood
to
here.
yourself. I'll explain to yourself.
Dad,
If we was to try and enter and people start pushing and shoving, well, not us, sorry, if the bailiff was to enter and start pushing and
We would
shoving,
peacefully resist.
okay, but that is going to amount to breach of the peace or contempt of court, okay? I know you don't want to leave, okay, but all I'm saying is that this is not the way to go about it, because we're
We've
getting the
tried
units
every
towards
other
We've
that.
tried every
All
other way.
we've asked-
Seriously,
we
we've
have
tried
asked
every way.
for documentation, and they are not sending it. We've not refused to pay anything.
I'll
This
show
is
you a
illegal.
list of case
When you're
studies.
asking for proof, when you're in litigation, they cannot take any court action against you. That is the law.
Right, well,
You have
at the
to
end
give
of the
up.
day, that's
All right,
between
listen.
between
No, but
yourself
I
and the
know,
bailiffs.
I
We're here
appreciate what
today
you're
to
saying. You're here
support the
today
bailiffs,
to
okay?
support the bailiff. If
Yeah.
the bailiff is
If
doing
If he
something
uses
wrong,
force on us, though, will you arrest
Are you here to
him?
support the bailiff? Aren't you here purely to keep a breach of the peace,
And
not
well,
support
yeah, well,
the
and to support
bailiff?
the bailiffs. That's why we're here.
You're
okay?
supporting the bailiff for doing an illegal action, so
all
you
I'm,
are therefore
all I'm
then
trying to say
liable
to you, all I'm trying to
as
say to you
well.
as a
You're
warning,
acting as their
okay,
agent.
is that
I
we've got
appreciate
vans
your
coming
warning.
towards, and we've got police officers coming down.
So
okay?
is the bailiff
That's
allowed
what's
to
gonna
use
happen.
force on us and just get away with it? Then
No,
we're
it's not-
just
it's not a case of
peacefully
using
standing
force.
there? So if we just stand
He's
here and
carrying
don't
out-
move and he
Stand
pushes
there.
us, what then?
He's carrying out the wishes of the court, okay?
Yeah, but the
That doesn't
wishes
give
of
him a
the
right to
court is
push
not
us or anything.
Can I please explain?
Yes.
Okay, so he's carrying out the wishes of the court. Okay, that paperwork is what that is. Okay, if you resist him, i.e. by standing at the gate or pushing him or whatever, right, you're obstructing him, you're obstructing the courts, and it's causing a breach of the peace. Okay.
Right, so everybody else get out. And
So what
I
if
will
he
stand
pushes
alone.
us? What if he
No, I
is
don't-
allowed to push us?
He's allowed to use reasonable force to carry out that warrant. That's not hitting people, but that is pushing the gate open
And that's all he's allowed to do. He can't even do
it's,
that.
well, it's reasonable for
I'm
It's
trying to
not.
upload
It has
those
listen,
things, those case studies and proofs where the police have actually doing what you're saying,
Yeah.
right? And then the police have actually been done for it.
Right.
I'm trying to get it up so you can see it for yourself. It's not no joke. I can give you dates and and names, and you can check that with your
Seriously, there has to be a
inspector.
wet ink signature regardless of what anyone's telling you.
Well, I'm satisfied that there doesn't, based on what I've been told by my inspector.
So we're just going on you.
by
We've
the
been
police.
into this. You can imagine we've been into
I'm
the
going to pop
law.
back in a minute. All right.
We've been
but
looking
just-
at the law.
I would like you to read this.
Well, it's not. Your
Well,
quarrel
yeah,
is not with
because
me.
you're
it's
No,
with
giving
the
a
no,
bailiff,
decision.
no,
okay?
but you are making the decision.
Yeah.
You
You're
are making,
threatening
you are
us with
taking
arresting
liability.
I'm not making the decision.
Oh,
Well, you are on the bailiff's
You are.
print.
You are.
You've just
You've
told
just
us
taken
that.
liability for it. You said
You're on camera
you
as
are
well,
going
mate.
to support
Yeah.
the bailiff. So can I have your
Yeah,
name?
40505. Yeah.
Which police station you're working at, officer?
Staines Police Station.
Staines, right here. Thank you.
So you are going to take liability for this
No.
because nobody is.
I'm here to prevent a breach of the peace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay?
so are we.
And
We
make
don't
sure
want
that
to
the wishes
be-
of the court are not obstructed.
Yeah,
But
but
the warrant isn't signed. It has
It
to
doesn't
be
need to
signed.
be signed.
does
We
It's
are
seriously,
in
no, the stamp is not.
litigation with the mortgage
Well, I'm not going to keep
company.
going through this with you, okay?
No.
I've given you a fair
Can you
warning.
please
You
check
need to
Surrey,
validate it, though.
Okay.
Surrey
You need to
Police?
validate
There is no
it.
validation on anything.
Yeah.
Hello, who's the householder?
We are.
We are, okay. I've obviously read the court order, and it does give the bailiff power to use reasonable force in relation to coming into the property and obviously taking possession of it, as per the court order that he's got. So obviously the intention will...
Yes, sorry, the court order has not been signed, it's been stamped, which anyone can do it, nobody's actually signed it.
Nobody's taken liability for the warrant.
well, my understanding from the bailiff is that that's perfectly lawful.
It's not.
That's why that's
And we're not giving up her home voluntarily. We have to give up her home. I explained, I showed one of your young
The
officer
second visit we've had, we had one in 17th
for
of
September.
and when they went away and checked that the document wasn't signed, they did move, everyone went.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to phone the court myself, all right,
They will
and
take-
satisfy myself with that position.
Yeah, but is it the right piece of people to ring? Because if the courts are
Can
doing
we
this,
have a
they're
piece of paper to
involved.
prove that you don't have to
that's
sign a
ultimately a
warrant?
matter for your, you and your
Is-
solicitors. I
is-
mean, as far as I'm concerned, if a county court judge has issued a
But
document,
which county court judge? Which county court
we're
judge?
obliged to.
There's no name on that.
I think there is a name, isn't
There's
there?
no, there's no name. There's no name.
The judges do not sign.
He said
There's
to us
no
that-
Because it's
name.
illegal.
Well, listen,
Sign when
I'm
they
going to
sign
phone.
the
he
I'm
signed-
going
he
to phone the
stamped
court.
that.
I'm going to phone the court.
Mr. Cross said
Right.
he stamped that.
Yeah,
He's not a judge.
because what advice is your
Don't
solicitor
have to
giving
be
you?
a judge. I'm
We
a
don't
court
have a
official.
solicitor. We're
Okay.
representing
Just
the
a
I'll
court
speak to the
official.
solicitor about
Okay, well,
this.
I'm going to speak to the
Yeah,
county court now.
Can I just
And I
explain
can
one
also
more
show you
thing to you? I'm
case
sorry,
studies.
you've all heard this. But we are in litigation with this mortgage company.
just trying to
We are
avoid
asking them. We've never ever refused to pay the
We're not
mortgage. Never.
criminals, just,
We're
you
not
know.
doing anything criminal. We've never said we won't pay the mortgage. We've asked them to provide
We've questioned it.
documentation for proof of the loan and for the fact and for the contract so that they are signed because they have to follow contract law.
Okay.
Law of
Can I just say
property.
something to you? Obviously, bailiff's here. He's got documentation. He's saying he's legally lawful and here to do that.
But they're not.
I'm going to satisfy myself by speaking to the court that what he's saying is correct and proper. All right, as best I can. All right. At that point, he can use reasonable force to enter this property, and obviously, if you obstruct, the reason we're here is to breach the peace. If he ultimately does that,
I can prove that he's not allowed to do that.
if ultimately he does that, okay, and obviously anybody obstructs or assaults him,
No one's gonna assault
that's why we will be here, and we'll obviously have to take those people away.
Nobody,
As long as you understand that.
Yeah,
Can I just say
nobody.
that? A
We
request
don't
has been
understand
put in for
anything. We-
details and data. That request needs to be fulfilled before anything can move forward in any process of legal, surely.
They can't.
Let me phone the court.
We're in litigation. They're not allowed to take it to court if we're in litigation. They
Inspector.
haven't proved a loan. We've asked.
Spoken to the court manager, myself. She tells me the notice is legally lawful. She's spoken to the judge and taken directions from the judge. Okay. He is under a duty to execute this warrant today. All
We
right.
have proof of that.
I'm telling you that's what the case is.
I
Okay.
have asked for proof of that.
so
I wrote to the court and I asked for
he is
certain-
now going to execute that warrant.
What about the judge's name?
All right,
Written it
it's
out.
Judge Gold.
If a police officer is in attendance and assists the bailiff to gain entry or persuades the debtor to open the door, then any levy the bailiff makes is void and the debtor can sue for damages.
We're here.
Skidmore versus Booth.
We're here, to prevent any breach of the peace. He will now execute this warrant. Okay, if anybody obstructs him or lays hands on him while he's doing that, and he can use reasonable force. Obviously, if anybody obstructs him or lays hands on him,
A debtor can lawfully use
they'll be-
reasonable force in removing a bailiff that has refused to leave. The bailiff resisting is the person guilty of a breach of peace.
Okay.
Green versus Bartram. If the
Mr.
police are
Ross is
present
committing
and the
a
bailiff
criminal
is the
act,
person the police should
I
arrest.
find
Foulkes
that
versus Chief Constable of Merseyside Police, 1998.
I know a little bit about that because I've read that legislation. There's a lot more to that legislation than just what you're quoting.
Right.
Okay, at the end of the day, he is going to execute that warrant. All right.
We've got no
I've-
proof.
But as
I've
a
explained
member
the
of the
situation.
public, and this sort of
I can't-
information is available to us, and you see that and you say, right, well,
if-
those
if-
are your
if-
rights,
Let's think about this
so
logically.
therefore,
Let's think about this
that's
logically.
what I'm trying to say.
All right. If bailiff couldn't execute warrants, okay, because people wouldn't let them in and told them to leave, wouldn't work, would it?
Yeah, it would, because they don't know their rights, so they give it up
the-
without
There's a
knowing.
lot more into it than that. Because I've got pages of it.
So
about debtors
basically, a
and
bailiff,
bailiffs'
bailiff
laws.
would have no authority.
He doesn't.
They could
Well,
turn
why
up-
hasn't he come in already then if he has authority?
I have asked.
All right, listen.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
I'm expecting an
I've
answer.
asked the
I've
court.
taken directions from the court, and the
And I
court
have
manager's
asked
got
the
directions from the judge. All right, that's what a judge has said to do. All right. Ultimately,
But the judge
I am
will
not going to
say
disobey that.
But she
instruction
hasn't
from a
signed that, has
from a county
she?
court judge.
There must be
There's
very
no
good reasons
sign.
for arresting a
There's
debtor
nobody
on the
has
grounds
She
of
could just
preventing
turn around
a
and say she hasn't
breach of the
said that.
peace.
Nobody
Only a
has taken
serious
any liability
An imminent
for
threat
warrant.
justifies arrest.
Can we just keep it calm?
I'm a court
guys?
officer from Kingston County Court.
And
I've
we're
got a
refusing
warrant
it,
here,
and we're
and I'm
refusing
going
it.
to gain entry to the property
And
now.
we're refusing it.
You can't push. We're filming you, remember?
That's criminal damage.
He's actually pushing her, and that's
That is.
He's
You're
assaulting her.
remember this.
This is assault.
He's assaulting
Standing
her.
still.
That's not
Not
reasonable force.
Litigation.
We'll let him in then.
That's not reasonable force.
Litigation.
This is assault.
Still stuck.
He just pushed her before she even did anything.
It is stuck.
He just
A
went
police
like
officer
that.
must arrest a bailiff for breach of the peace if he places the debtor in fear of violence or harm if that offence is made in the presence of that officer.
He just barged into her before she even
That
did
is
anything.
assault.
She didn't do anything.
He didn't even ask her if she wanted to
No,
move.
he just
And that's on
barged
camera
into
as well, by the way.
Can you stop doing
That's illegal.
You're under arrest on suspicion of assault. You didn't have to say anything, but remember your defence. If you didn't mention anything to him. Right, come on.
He didn't touch him. Why are you arresting him?
You're under arrest for assault. For the reason
He didn't
you're touching
touch
him,
him.
exercising his duty.
It's on film.
I've just watched it.
Nice and easy.
It's on film. Watch the film.
We've got that on film.
We've got it all on film.
Criminals here.
They did not touch him.
Make sure you record everything.
But he didn't touch him.
I know he didn't.
And he assaulted you as well.
Excuse me, I'm diabetic, I'm epileptic, I need to talk.
She needs her medication.
Even cuffing her is a health risk to her, so please respect that. Respect her. I've got her cuffed. She's very frail. She is seriously very frail. And she could have an epileptic thing at any moment as well. Inspector, that's why I've sat down to show you that I'm not there for anything but to observe what's going on. But I do warn you, you'll all be sued for this.
Any medication at all?
I'm a diabetic and I'm epileptic. She's really ill.
Don't manhandle an old man, Bailiff.
We'll take.
Defend my father. I have the right to defend my father. Please do not manhandle my father.
Yeah, we're sorting medication out in a minute. Can you get her out?
You can't get my medication.
Right. What's the next step? Well, we don't need or what?
Yeah, I'll just wait for Locksmith to come with his tools.
Exactly. I know some of them.
I just say?
Let her in there to get it. She knows what she needs.
Yes, you touched him on both shoulders. There are cameras there. You touched him on both shoulders.
We filmed the whole thing, so say what you like.
Do not accept that. If you try to use force on my father, I will stand and use force against that to defend my father. I have that right. Okay? It's that simple. You do what you wish. You do what you wish. You do what your paperwork says. I'm telling you.
He's coming, isn't he? Yeah, he's coming. I've just told him. He's coming with you.
I don't expect an 81-year-old old man to be manhandled by anybody. Do you understand that?
I understand what you're saying.
Good. Please do not take it any further. Nobody wants anything to go any further. Nobody wants hassle or grief. You know this damn well. You even visited him 2 days ago. Right. So let's keep it calm, yeah?
Allowed to have and that is against the law.
That's right.
We've arrested someone for no reason. He didn't touch him. He did not touch him.
The judge's signature. The judge's signature, the fact that they have made requests for data, those data requests have not been fulfilled. There is no rights.
Kev, go and film that. Go and film Dad.
Duty of service by the mortgage company.
Now, once a person's voluntary
Go and film Dad.
That's right. They can't voluntarily, they're in a position where they can't voluntarily hand it over.
Excuse me, I'm asking you to move to one side. I'm allowed to use reasonable.
Remember, you're on film.
Remove your own.
He's allowed to use reasonable force in order to push
Yeah, but earlier he needs
Yeah, I'm asking you peacefully just to move to one side, please, sir. Excuse me, sir. I need to gain access to the property, sir.
You've got kids at home?
And you've got children, yeah? If he's children, stop touching my dad.
Sir, you can do
that.
He's trying to do his job. He's allowed reasonable force.
I'm going to have to arrest you for obstruction. I don't do
Your parents look after you?
Yes, they do.
Right, and that's what you're talking about.
I know you're trying to protect your father, but we need to do a job.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but it's not worth him getting arrested for, is it?
We don't want to have to arrest him.
I totally understand because I haven't got a problem with the protocol that you're undertaking. I totally get what you're doing. You are an officer of the law. You are an agent of peace. You are not an agent of this organisation. I know what's going on here and what's been said. I'm not off the mark. What I'm trying to explain to you is, they have requested data from these people. This data has not been forthcoming. They have requested to have the signature on the thing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
They still haven't left voluntarily either.
Hang on a second. These things have not been fulfilled. So you're here under this and this jurisdiction that shouldn't even be applied. Do you understand what I'm saying? Things have not been fulfilled. That's right. It's nothing to do with you when it comes to that.
It's been explained by my inspector.
I understand that. I understand that. But you still not had a
I'm just here to do my job. I appreciate his father. As soon as we get in there and access it, which is fine. We don't want to do that. That's fine.
No one here is trying to be violent or anything.
No, but we're here to do our job.
You're an agent of peace.
That's what we're trying to keep doing. We're trying to do it as simple and as easy as possible.
I know you could have played for it.
We didn't want to have to come and do it this way.
No one. The fact of the matter is, it's difficult. To your knowledge, what do I do? When you've got debts on people, they come over and you're the lawyer yourself. You know that. I've had right to we all come up. I know. Go what you got.
Noodle, was for me to go around and...
He's in the van at the moment.
Yeah.